Last night at Scotiabank Arena, interesting night. Very interesting. Toronto Maple Leafs had Pride Night. Now, they've been doing this since 2017, and they have not once in pregame warm-ups worn the pregame Pride jerseys that have become extremely hot button in the National Hockey League because some players have not worn them in pregame warm-ups. So the Leafs continued not to wear the warm-up Pride jerseys on Pride Night in pregame warm-ups. The team sported Pride decals. It's worth noting Russian goalie Ilya Samsonov, who was a backup in this game, did not have a decal on his helmet. Just want to pass that along. There are some people, Devo, looking at this and going, oh, that's interesting. And there are others going, look, NHL teams are making decisions, and they're allowed to make decisions considering all the controversy and at times bad PR that has come with this. Your general take on last night?
Well, I have questions for both of you, I guess, and you doing sports talk radio for a long time. Back in 2017, when this was happening, no, I don't feel like people were talking about it.
They weren't.
Why are we talking about it more now? This is a general question for all the players and the James Reimers, the Stahl brothers. The Stahl brothers one baffles me because you wore it before and you decided not to wear it today or yesterday or whatever day it was, right?
But if you're going to have the event, do it.
But here's the thing. With Samsonov, we have a lot of Leafs fans and die-hard Leafs fans in this city, in this country. Because he didn't wear the decal on his helmet yesterday, are you going to cheer as loud as you would for him during the playoffs? So Leafs start playoffs in 2 weeks. He's probably going to be the starting goalie.
No, he will. Matt Murray's hurt. He will be the starting goalie. Yes.
So now, does this change? Do you separate? Can you separate the player and the person from the player? I should say. Can you separate the person from? We do that with music. We say, oh, we'll still listen to that person's music, even though they did something bad. Are you able to do that with athletes, or is it too close to home that you're like, no, I don't want to cheer for that person anymore?
And, you know, I don't watch a lot of sports, but my sense would be the Maple Leafs have so much love and loyalty that people will be behind him no matter what. And am I correct in saying that he didn't wear it because he's Russian and there's different
we don't know
rules
why.
in Russia?
There's no comment. There's no statement.
There's no comment. But based on the way this National Hockey League season has gone when it comes to Pride nights, I have my suspicions. And I find it weird that a goalie who is now the unquestioned #1 starter of the Leafs less than 2 weeks from the playoffs, when you want to get in that rhythm, night off. I find that really interesting. So I'm really disappointed in the Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm very disappointed in the Leafs. And I'm going to tell you why. And I realize they haven't worn jerseys before. I get it. Hold the tweets, not interested. I understand all the context behind it. And I also understand the context behind the fact that the Toronto Maple Leafs have been leaders in this space supporting LGBTQ fans for a long, long time. Diversity, inclusivity. The Leafs have been one of the more progressive organizations, not just in hockey, but when you have team president Brendan Shanahan marching in pride parades, when you have Kyle Dubas, GM, marching in pride parades, Morgan Riley's been amazing in support of the LGBTQ community. Kerfoot. I know where the Leafs stand on this. And I also see what's going on online. And I'm terrified because I have friends and family who are LGBTQ, who I love deeply. And I've been out here talking about this issue for a bit. The Philadelphia Flyers story broke. We were one of the first ones. We got a video out there with 2 million views on it. When people, former colleagues of mine in sports, wanted nothing to do with this story. And you know who they are. This means a lot to me. And I think this moment needs leadership. And I think this moment would have been unbelievable if the Leafs said, you know what? I know we don't normally wear the jerseys, but right now, whether you agree with me or not, those jerseys mean something. And it means you're taking a side. Not every NHLer has done it in terms of not wearing the jersey. So I don't want to paint everyone with the same brush. But I felt the Leafs had an opportunity last night to say, we're wearing these jerseys because that's what we do. And I feel that there were conversations in that organization that said, you know what, from a PR standpoint, we're going down this road because it's the road we always go down. To be fair to the Leafs, they don't wear the jerseys. But I felt if they would have gone that extra mile last night, that would have been a hell of a statement. And I kind of expected them to. And I am deeply, deeply, deeply disappointed that they didn't. And that doesn't take away from anything Kyle or Brendan or Morgan or anyone or Alex, anyone in the organization's done. Brian Burke's done amazing things while with the Leafs.
Yep.
There are people in hockey who don't want to talk about this. There are some people in hockey that are being very brave, and I respect all of them. And a lot of them are in the Leafs organization. Boy, did I want to see them wear some jerseys last night. And I'm still wondering how that happened in an organization that progressive, where they were like, you know what, we'll just do what we normally do.
Right. It doesn't seem like there's ever any reason to not broaden the tent. Everybody's welcome.
But again, Devo, I want to be clear on this. I respect the Leafs a lot. They've done some amazing things. I'm just saying, as they've been the tip of the spear on a lot of things in terms of supporting LGBTQ rights. I was expecting that last night. I was surprised it didn't happen.
See, I was not expecting the jerseys because
Fair
since
enough. 2017
they hadn't. I understand what you're saying. It would have been nice to do that, especially with what's gone on in the league and the conversations that have happened. But I like the fact that they have conversations. Videos were put out of seminars happening, speakers coming in, talking to the entire team in like a classroom setting or like a university lecture setting.
Very
I saw
powerful.
that.
Very
Asking
powerful.
questions, having conversations, expanding minds. These are young athletes still. Not everybody's a grown man in that room, right? So you're still learning at this age. To have that to me is important. That is powerful. Other organizations haven't been doing that. They're like, hey, we're going to slap some colored tape on our sticks and say, hey, we want everybody to come through, but half our players aren't supporting it. This is an organization saying, let's talk about why this is important.
But I guess the idea is, and it's amazing, and hats off for doing that, but unless you saw that video somehow online, that needs to translate out to the public sphere.
Yes, because young people need to see this happening as well. And not just young people, people that are set in their ways need to see that the people they cheer for, the ones they idolize, are actually taking the time to learn about acceptance, right? So yes, those videos do need to get out there, but I think the fact that they're doing the work and talking to their
absolutely.
players, those players are going to talk to their peers in the league and talk to the other players and say, hey, like, what's your issue? Let's talk about it. It sparks conversation, and that is a start. It's a huge deal in that way to spark conversation.
Yep.
I understand what you're saying about it would be nice if they had worn those jerseys, but I think just doing more than just wearing it is super important.
Right. It isn't just about to quote Morgan Riley yesterday in the pregame, after the pregame skate.
Right.
It's not just about the wardrobe.
Yeah.
To a
It's
point,
doing the
I agree
work.
with him. But right now, PR-wise,
Yeah.
it kind of is.
Optics-wise, I see what you're saying.
It kind of is. This conversation will continue. Appreciate the both of you. We're going to take a break.